It's Thursday. It's College Football Live. It's Week 9. Gentlemen, Sam Acho, Eric MacLain. I'm Wendi Nix. You can hardly script it much better than this. You've got an intrastate rivalry. You've got two teams undefeated, and you've got a rivalry that rarely doesn't deliver. Number one, Michigan State. Let's look back to 1990. Remember this? Less than 10 seconds to go. Eric Kerbach found Derek Alexander for a touchdown to bring the Wolverines within one. Michigan went for two. The pass went to Desmond. He only needs one name. He was tripped, but no call. Spartans pulled off the upset. How about Nick Saban coaching in 1997 with the Spartans? Number 5 Michigan beating number 15 Michigan State 23-7. The Wolverines finished the game with 6 interceptions, including 2 by Charles Woodson. He won the national title that season. Woodson went on to win the Heisman Trophy. And then 2015, 10 seconds left. Number 12 Michigan leading number 7 Michigan State by 2. Michigan punter Blake O'Neill has trouble with the snap. Jalen Watts Jackson picks it up, scores the winning touchdown as time expires, leading to the famous surrender cobra from the Michigan fans. So Saturday's matchup between number 6 Michigan, number 8 Michigan State will mark the 5th AP Top 10 matchup in series history and the first since 1964. The road team won the 4 previous games, and Michigan State has the edge, 3-1 record in those games. And Sam, listen, it's hard to script it. I said this. It's hard to not like the way this one shakes out. Let's start with Michigan. What do you like?
Well, I love Michigan's defense. I mean, you look at this game, and Michigan defensively, they have some stars that consistently stand out. Start off with a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, number 97, on the edge. He's consistently getting after the quarterback. Then his homeboy, David Ojabo, number 55, is also getting after the quarterback. We put a lot of shine on 97, a lot of shine on 55. Then you got DJ Turner, number 5, making plays as well. And so what I get excited about when I watch these teams, I get excited about the playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. And then you go to their offense as well. There's so much to love about this Michigan football team.
Eric, Sam, I'll ask you the same question about Michigan State.
Yeah, how about when you look at this offense, how about some balance? When you see these guys, man, they can run it, they can throw it. Peyton Thorne has done an unbelievable job at quarterback when they need him to pick up strikes, but it's all about that ground game. It's all about Kenneth Walker III and what he has been able to bring to this Michigan State team. He's electric on the ground, what he's been able to do with his legs. Really, in my opinion, a Heisman candidate that has played extremely well for Michigan State and just what he's been able to do. That big offensive line, they're moving the way for him and really allowing him to get out in space. So I think that balance is going to be a little bit of an issue for Michigan. Then you look defensively, that bend don't break mentality from the Spartans, right at about 18 points a game they're giving up, but really doing a great job containing guys. What a great matchup we're going to see this Saturday.
Well, and I don't think you can overlook the way these two teams have bounced back either. They've shown a lot of resiliency this season after what we saw in the previous few. Take a look at this. It's history in a lot of ways. The matchup between Michigan and Michigan State will be just the 6th time between Big Ten schools in the last 100 seasons where both teams are 7-0 or better entering the game. They both have had major improvement from last year, as I mentioned. In 2020, they both had losing records and gave up over 30 points per game to their opponents. We welcome in Adam Rittenberg and Tom Van Haren, both of whom have articles out now on ESPN.com about the respective resurgence of the Spartans and Wolverines. And Adam, let me ask you this. How did Mel Tucker use his NFL background to transform this Michigan State roster?
Well, Wendi, Mel Tucker spent 10 years in the NFL with 3 separate franchises and knows all about free agency. And he started to equate the transfer portal in college to free agency in the NFL and told me that in free agency, you address need. You don't just grab at guys. And so even though Michigan State added 15 FBS players out of the transfer portal, they were targeted additions. They needed a home run hitter at running back, so they added Kenneth Walker III from Wake Forest. They needed an anchor on their offensive line. They added Jared Horst from Arkansas State. They needed cornerback help, so they added a couple of guys out of the SEC who are starting for them. So a lot of teams go into the portal and just grab. That wasn't Mel Tucker's approach. It was targeted. It was based on free agency in the NFL, and that's why Michigan State hit so much when other teams have missed, and it's created the best one-year turnaround in college football this season.
It makes so much sense. And Tom, 2-4 Michigan was last season. What a difference a year makes. What changed inside this Michigan locker room?
Well, Wendy, it was that 2-4 season from last year that led the players to get together. The leaders on that team, Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Ross, Cade McNamara, and some of the other leaders within the locker room, they all got together and they said they don't want that ever to happen again at Michigan. Some of those players told me it was embarrassing to go through that. As a player at Michigan, it shouldn't happen. So they led player meetings. They led player workouts. They even started a leadership council with players and coaches mixed in to try to change that culture, try to hold each other more accountable. And the players said they think it's worked. And they also give credit to some of the assistant coaches on the staff as well. They were able to help facilitate a new environment and a new culture at Michigan to give the players a chance to lead from within and take this team into their own hands. And I spoke to Jim Harbaugh about this, and he commended his players for doing it. And he said, maybe we're the Rocky Balboa of college football. We're a little beat up and we're angry. And he said, good. He likes that his team is a little angry and feels like they're the underdog this season.
A little angry never hurt anybody. Gentlemen, thank you. You can see both of these articles right now on ESPN.com.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.